basically connectivity. We are going to discuss the same, what is basically connectivity, how we can do the database connectivity in database management system. So that is we are going to discuss today. So what would be our objective behind the same, learning the same? That is, you will be learn how to relate your databases basically with the help of some software like DBMS. So that is our basic objective behind the same. You will learn how we can do the connectivity. So there could be various connectivities that are available. It could be Java, it could be any other connectivity that could be available. So we are going to learn the same, and we are going to learn the difference between the same. So just have a look at the lecture, and I am proceeding with the same lecture. So this one is my database connectivity history. Before APIs like JDBC and ODBC, database connectivity was tedious because active pages comes nowadays because they have been popular nowadays. But initially we were dealing with the term JDBC and ODBC. So this was quite tedious. So why it was tedious? Because database vendors provided function libraries for database access. Connectivity library was proprietary, and data access portions had to be written with changes in the application. In addition, application developers were stuck with the particular database product for a given application. So these were the main factors that we were facing. That is why we are supposed to switch to the new connectivity measures. Now next is why we are supposed to choose Java, because we can write once and it could be run. We can run it everywhere or anywhere. Multiple clients and server platform. Object relational mapping could be there. That is dealing with databases optimized for searching, indexing. Objects optimized for engineering flexibility. Network independence, work across internet protocol. Database independence. Java can access any database vendor, and ease of administration. So this is all about the Java connectivity that we are going to discuss. Why Java? Have a look at all the slide. If you are having any query, you can ask me any question. So next is why Java. We can write it once, we can run it anywhere. So now there are certain terms that are associated with JDBC. Like JDBC API is a Java API that can access any kind of tabular data, especially data stored in the relational database. And it could work with Java on a variety of platforms like Windows, Mac operating system, and the various versions of Unix. Now, my main question is why we are supposed to learn JDBC? Why we are supposed to learn JDBC? Why we are supposed to learn JDBC? So JDBC stands for Java Database Connectivity, which is the standard Java API for database independent connectivity. It could be between Java programming language and a wide range of databases. So the JDBC library includes APIs for each of the tasks that is mentioned below that are commonly associated with database usage. So it could make a connection to a database. It could create SQL or MySQL statements. It could execute SQL or MySQL queries in the database, and it could view and modify the resulting records. Now we are supposed to deal with the applications of JDBC. What could be the applications of JDBC? So, what are the various applications of JDBC? Fundamentally, JDBC is a specification that provides a complete set of interfaces that could allow for portable access to an underlying database. So it can be used to write different types of executables such as Java applications, Java applets, Java servlets, Java server pages, that is JSP pages, or enterprise Java beans, that is EJB. So all of these different executables are able to use a JDBC driver to access our database and take advantage of the stored data. Now JDBC provides some capabilities as ODBC. Following are the Java programs that contain database independent code. Now if we are talking about JDBC 4.0 packages, now Java.sql and Java X.sql, these are the primary packages for JDBC 4.0. So this is the latest JDBC version at the time of writing. Okay, so it offers main classes for interacting with your data sources. What could be that the new features in these packages include various changes like automatic database driver loading. Automatically driver loading will be there. Exception handling improvements is already done. Enhanced BLOB, CLOB functionality, blob globe functionality. Connection and statement interface enhancement, national character set support, SQL row with cases, row ID cases, SQL 2003 XML data type support and annotations. Next is audiences. So we are supposed to deal with Java programmers who would like to understand the JDBC framework in detail along with its architecture and actual usage. So what could be the prerequisites for the same? That is, before proceeding to the with the Java database connectivity, you should have a good understanding of Java programming language, and as you are going to deal with RDBMS, you should have prior exposure to SQL and database concepts. So next is we are coming to JDBC interaction. Sorry, introduction. What is basically JDBC? JDBC SQL syntax. So what is the same? Like structure query language is a standardized language that allows you to perform operations on the database like creating entities, reading content, updating content, and deleting entries. So SQL is supported by almost any database you will likely use, and it allows you to write database code independently of the underlying database. So I am going to tell you about how you can create a database. Like create database statement is used for creating a new database. The syntax could be SQL create database, database name could be there, and in that manner in the end of the statement you are supposed to proceed with the semicolon, and in that manner your database would be created. Next is drop database. Now what is drop database mean? Its statement is used for deleting an existing database. So next is we are supposed to use drop statement, drop database, database name, semicolon. Now to create or drop a database you should have administrator privilege on your database server. So be careful, deleting a database would lose all the data that is stored in the database. So next is create table. Next is create table. Now the create table statement is used for creating a new table. The syntax could be I am sharing the same with you. Now this is the statement that could be used. How to create a database. So create table, table name, column data type, column name, column data type, column name, column data type. Now, if I am talking about creating a database, what does database means basically? Database is a collection of rows and columns. Rows are called tuples, and columns are called attributes. So we are supposed to define various columns here. Like, let's say there is a student table. There are certain columns that could be associated with the same. That is student ID, student name, student course, student subject, student semester. So in that manner, we are supposed to deal with various attributes here. So in the same manner, we are supposed to insert entries into the same. Let's say, for example, if I am showing you a table here, just wait, have a look at the same. So how we are supposed to create the same? This is the student table that would be given, and we are supposed to use a table here. Let me insert a table here. So in the same manner, I am supposed to deal with the table here. Could be grades, it could be total CGPA till date, address, phone number, parent's phone number. There could be certain things that could be associated with the table, this. And I am supposed to create the same. So these are all attributes of the table number, name, student. Now student ID, let's say it is 1, student name A, course, student course BTech, semester 6, subject SPM, grades, like like I can say 60%, CGPA 6, address, like. In that manner, we are supposed to insert various entries here. Next row could be defined here. That could be. So in that manner, we are supposed to create a database for the student. Create database student. In that manner, it could be created. But now, how to fetch the same with the help of connectivity, obviously. So there could be a certain things that could be associated with creating the table. Now, what are those things? Let me show you the same. Create table, table name, column data type. Now, what is column name and column data type here? Let me tell you the same. Here we have used various attributes name. Student ID, it could be numeric student name, it could be alphanumeric student codes, alphanumeric, whatever the range you are supposed to define here, you are supposed to define the data type for the same. You know, in addition, you can define the size here, like how many character does it this address could take, how many phone number digits does this phone number attribute could take, and how many phone number digits that this attribute could take. So this could be the size of the database that I am going to define as well. So in that manner, my queries work in SQL. Next is I am giving you the practical example of the same. So this is the practical query for creating the table. So what could be the same? Create table employees, ID integer, not null, age integer, not null. First var, first varchar, that is 255. Last varchar, last name, first name, that is varchar 255 is the size that is given to you. Primary key, it could be ID. Next, it is enclosed in the by the semicolon. So in that manner, our query will proceed practically. Like I am supposed to create a table whose name is the employees, ID in which I am supposed to create the employee ID, employee age, employee first name, employee last name, employee primary key. Okay, so how this is the way how SQL proceeds with the query in the database. So basically, we were talking about the connection here. Next, have a look at what is ODBC. It is the standard or open application programming interface, that is API, for accessing a database. It is developed by SQL Access Group, chiefly Microsoft in 1992. Access to various kinds of databases with the help of this is possible. Access of various It could allow programs to use SQL requests that will access database without knowledge of the proprietary interface to the database. But in JDBC, we require the proprietary information. Next is it could handle the request that converts it into a request understandable by an individual database system. So this is all about ODBC. Just let me tell you the difference of ODBC. What is there new in the ODBC apart from JDBC? So if I am talking about ODBC, ODBC stands for Oracle Database Connectivity. It is an API which is used to access different databases. Now, how it could be used to access different databases? Let me show you the example here. So there are certain applications that could be there, and there is that could be directed toward ODBC driver, and ODBC director is directed toward DBMS. It could be related to MySQL, or DBMS that could be related to SQL Server, and DBMS that could be related to Oracle. So it could be any database that could be used or that could be handling the ODBC driver. So next my point is it could handle the request and convert it into request that could be understandable by an individual database system. So that is what this is defined here. It could be handled by individual database system. Now the ODBC drivers uses the open database connectivity interface that is provided by Microsoft to communicate with the databases. But it is independent of the databases and platforms and operating systems. So once you develop an application using ODBC, you can run it on other platforms with little changes in the data access code. And ODBC uses SQL syntax and it is based on open call level interface. So this is my main difference between the two, that is JDBC and ODBC. If you are having any query, you can ask me any question. I am giving you a time of 1 minute. Have a look at all the slides that have been discussed so far. So next is we are moving toward ODBC requirements. What could be the requirements for ODBC that are required? So in computing, ODBC is a standard application programming interface. Application programming interface mean to say like it is a connection between computers or between computer programs. So it is a type of software interface offering a service to other pieces of software. So a document or a standard that describe how to build such a connection or an interface is called API specification. So this is what the API interface is. It is used to access database management system. Now what is basically database management system? It is an organized collection of data stored and accessed electronically from a computer system. So designers of ODBC aim to make it independent of the database system and operating system. Now what does operating system means? It is the system software that manages computer hardware, software resources and provides common services for computer program. So an application that is written using ODBC can be ported to other platform. Now what is porting means? Process of adapting software for the purpose of achieving some form of execution in the computing environment that is different from the one that a given program was originally designed for. So both on the client and server side with few changes to the data access code that could be there. So it is an ODBC software that could require for a particular operating system a separate module or a driver for each database to be accessed that is defined even here as well. A driver masks the heterogeneity of the database system, operating system and network protocol. For example, C-based driver, Windows driver, etc. Next is what is basically architecture behind ODBC. There could be applications I already told you or showed you like this one. So applications could be there. There could be ODBC drivers managers, then drivers of the DBMS or operating system or network, then data sources there. So this is the whole architecture of the whole. If you are having any queries, you can ask me. Next is what is basically a JDBC, Java API for connecting programs written in Java to the data that could be written in relational database management system. The standard defined by Sun Microsoft system allowing individual providers to implement and extend the standard with their own JDBC drivers. What is the basically task of JDBC? That is, this is the main question. It could establish a connection with the database. It could send SQL statements. It could process the results. Next is what is JDBC API. The JDBC API support both, that is two-tier and three-tier models for database access. What is two-tier model? What is three-tier model? Let's discuss about the same because there is a distinction between the two. Two-tier model, that is a Java applet or application that interacts directly with the database. Three-tier model that introduce a middle-level server for execution of business logic. So what is the concern with the three-tier model architecture? That is the middle tier to maintain control over data access. Next is the user can employ an easy to use higher level API, which is translated by the middle tier into the appropriate low level calls. Next is JDBC architecture. What is basically a JDBC architecture? Have a look at the same. Java applications are there, JDBC driver management is there, JDBC native bridge is there, then JDBC ODBC bridge is there, JDBC driver specification is there that is related to DBMS, then middleware that is various database management systems, then native driver, then ODBC driver. In the end, there is a DBMS that is residing here. Now there are certain types of JDBC driver types that are there. It could be based on various classes like class 1, class 2, class 3, class 4. So what is there inside the class 1? If we are talking about JDBC, ODBC that are meant for desktop applications. So there are three main concerns regarding same. That is, it could use bridging technology. It require installation and configures on client machines and not good for web. Next is class 2. What is basically class 2? That is native API driver that is concerned with vendor specific drivers, and it requires installation configuration on client machines, and it is used to leverage existing CLI libraries and usually not thread safe and mostly obsolete now. For example, Oracle driver, WebLogic driver. Next is if we are talking about class 3 and class 4, there are certain points that could be associated with the same. If you are having any query, you can ask you from class 1 and class 2. Now class 3 that is concerned with network API. What are the main points that could be discussed here? That is, it could call middleware server that is usually on the database host. Next is it is very flexible and it could allow access to multiple databases using one driver. Only need to download one driver, but it is another server application to install and maintain, for example, Semantic DBA, anywhere. Next is class 4 network protocol driver used for network based applications. Pure Java drivers use Java networking libraries to talk directly to the database engines, and it need to download a new driver for each database engine, for example, Oracle or MySQL. Next is what is the overview of querying a database with JDBC. There are certain points that could be associated with the same. Have a look at the architecture here. First is we are supposed to connect, then we are supposed to create a connect query, then after against that query there could be various results that could be processed, and in the last we are supposed to close the same. But there are certain steps that could be associated with each step because there are sub points or sub parts that are associated with each step that is defined there. Connection could be having various steps like how the connection could be established. There could be sub step how the query is to be generated. There could be sub steps that could be generated with the same. Next, how to process the results. There are certain steps that could be associated with the same. In addition, how to close the same. There are certain steps that could be associated with the same. We will discuss each and every step one by one. So basically, we were talking about the connectivity here. So it could be an application programming interface that is used for the programming language like Java. It could define how a client may access the database. This process is defining how a client could access the database. So it is a Java based data access technology that is used for Java database connectivity. Now it is the part of Java Standard Edition platform. Now what is Java Standard Edition platform here? It is the computing platform that is used for development and deployment of portable code for desktop and server environments. So Java SE was formerly known as Java 2 Platform Standard Edition, that is J2 SE. So that is used from Oracle Corporation. Now, what is Oracle? It is an American multinational computer technology that is headquartered in Austin, Texas. So the company was formerly headquartered in Redwood, California until December 2020 when it is moved to the headquarters to Texas. So the company sells database software and its technologies. So it provides methods to query and update data in the database and is oriented toward relational databases. Now, what is basically relational databases? It is the digital database that is based on relational model of data as proposed by Boyce Code in 1970, as we have discussed a lot about Boyce Code, about functional dependency. So a software system that is used to maintain relational databases is a relational database management system, and many relational database systems have an option of using SQL for queries. So a JDBC to ODBC bridge, it could enable connections to any ODBC accessible data source in the Java virtual machine. Now, what is basically Java virtual machine? So, it is a machine or a virtual machine that could enables a computer to run Java programs as well as programs written in the other languages that are also compiled to Java bytecode. So the JVM is detailed by a specification that formally describe what is required in JVM application. So what is the functionality behind JDBC? What is the functionality behind JDBC? Main functionality that is behind the JDBC. Now JDBC allow multiple implementations to exist and it could be used by the same application. So the API provides a mechanism for dynamically loading the correct Java packages and registering them with the JDBC driver manager. So the driver manager is used as a connection factory for creating JDBC connection. So JDBC connections support creating and executing statements. These may be update statements like SQL create, insert, update, and delete operations, or they may be query statements like select statement. So additionally, stored procedures may be invoked through JDBC connection. And JDBC represents statements using one of the following classes like statements. Now statement as the name implies, it is sent to the database server each and every time. Next is prepared statement. The statement is cached and then execution path is predetermined on the database server, allowing it to be executed multiple times in an efficient manner. Next is callable statement that is used for executing stored procedures on the database. Now, what is basically stored procedure? That is a subroutine available to application that access a relational database management system. Such procedures are stored in the database data dictionary. Now we can use update statements like insert, update, and delete. That could return an update count that indicates how many rows were affected in the database. Though these statements do not return any other information, but query statements do return a JDBC row result set. So what could be the same that is used to walk over the result set, and individual columns in the row are retrieved either by name or by column number. So there may be any number of rows in the result set. The row result set has a metadata that describes the name of the columns and their types. So there is an extension to the basic JDBC API in the Java X.SQL. So JDBC connections are often managed via connection pool. What is connection pool? Rather than obtained directly from the driver. Now connection pool, because we are dealing with connectivity today. So what is basically connection pool? So connection pool, like in software engineering, I could say, It is a cache of database connection. Now, what is cache? Database caching is a process included in the design of computer applications which generate web pages on demand, that is dynamically, by accessing backend databases. So these are the caches of database connections that are maintained so that the connections can be reused when future requests to the database are required. So connection pools are used to enhance the performance of executing commands on the database. Opening and maintaining a database connection for each user is specially requests made to dynamic database driven websites application, and it is costly and waste resources. So in connection pooling, after a connection is created, it is placed in the pool and it is used again so that a new connection does not have to be established. So if all the connections are being used, a new connection is made and is added to the pool. So connection pooling also cut down on the amount of time a user must wait to establish a connection to the database. Now there are certain applications that could be associated with the same, like web-based and enterprise applications use an application server to handle connection pooling, and dynamic web pages without connection pooling open connections to database services as required and close them when the page is done servicing a particular request. So the pages that use connection pooling, on the other hand, maintain open connections in the pool. When the pages require access to the database, it simply uses an existing connection from the pool and establishes a new connection only if no pooled connections are available. So this reduces the overhead associated with connecting to the database to service individual requests. So there are certain examples of the same, like we are supposed to deal with JDBC drivers also. Now, what are basically JDBC drivers? These are the client-side adapters that converts requests from Java programs to a protocol that the DBMS can understand. So there are various types of JDBC drivers that are available. Commercial and free drivers provide connectivity to most relational database servers. So these drivers are having various types like type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4. So what is basically type 1? That the call native code of the locally available ODBC driver. Next is type 2, that call database vendor native library on the client side. This code then talk to the database over the network. Next is type 3, that is the pure Java driver. That is the database driver that talks with the server side middleware that then talks to the database. Type 4, the pure Java driver that uses database native protocol. So these are the four types on which the JDBC drivers are classified. On which the JDBC drivers are. So these are basically the four types. So next, if I am dealing with the connect stage, connect is register the driver, connect to the database. So these are two further steps that are associated with the connect. Stage 2, query. How to query? Create a statement and query the database. So these 2 points could be associated with the same. Like I am supposed to create a statement, I am supposed to query the database. Same is the case here. First, we are supposed to establish the connection. How we are supposed to establish the connection? We are supposed to do with the registration process. Then we are supposed to connect to the database. First, we have to register. Then we are supposed to connect to the database. In that manner, we will be connected to the database. Then we will be proceed directly toward query. Now, the query case is here. We are supposed to create a statement and we are supposed to query the database. Next is stage 3, that is concerned with the results. So we are supposed to process the result. Like there are 2 steps that are associated with the same. That is step through the result and assign results to the Java variables. Step through the result and assign Java results to the Java variable. So there is a closing step also that is having various points. That is close the result set, close the statement, close the connection. So this is the way how does this proceed. Overview of the querying, that is a database with the JDBC. So this is the basic overview of the things. Now, recent advancement. What are the various recent advancements that have been made to the system? So we'll have a look at the same common type 5 architecture and features across all major databases, code and feature interoperability, support across databases, one driver for each database regardless of database version or JDK version. Next, we could support robust JDBC 3.0, 4.0 specification feature that could set improves the developer productivity. Next is performance and scalability leader in spec, that is application server or performance benchmarks that could be related to the performance benchmark. Next is extensive test suites and customer deployment ensure unrivaled reliability. So these are all the advantages that could be dealt with. Now, next is this is the RDMS, the RDBMS that we could use. It could be any RDBMS. It could be Oracle. It could be DB2. It could be SQL Server. It could be CBase. It could be MySQL. It could be Informix. So these are the Java application code, and this is the progress that Data Direct Connect for the JDBC Type 5 driver. So there, here is the specification that is given for the Type 5 driver. So here, this is the process that is being defined here. Have a look at the same. Basic application example. We are supposed to select employee number. Okay, 101. Next, we are supposed to select employee name. It could be 103. Next, we are supposed to select salary, that is 4600. Then we are supposed to submit. In fourth step, we are supposed to submit. Select employee name, select employee number, select employee name and salary, and we are supposed to submit the query. In that manner, our query will be submitted, and this is the another query that could be generated. So this is the basic application example of the first query and second query. So this is all about JDBC and ODBC. We have discussed a lot. If you are having any question regarding same, you can ask me any question. If you are having any question that is related to ODBC or JDBC, you can ask me. I am giving you a time of 1 minute. Have a look at all the slides that have been discussed so far. Now there could be various bridges that could be used, and you are supposed to have a look at the same ODBC to JDBC bridges. And ODBC JDBC bridges. This is the main point that you must note that it is consist of an ODBC driver which uses the services of the JDBC driver that is used to connect to a database. Now the driver translate ODBC function calls into JDBC method calls, and programmers usually use such a bridge when they lack an ODBC driver for some databases but have access to a JDBC driver. For example, Open Link ODBC JDBC bridge, SQL Link ODBC JDBC bridge. So these are the various types of bridges that could be used. Like there is a bridging configuration that is also defined here, like OLEDB to ODBC bridges, ADO.NET to ODBC bridges. So there are certain types of configurations that are available for each and every bridge that we are supposed to use. So if you are having any query regarding same, you can ask me any question. Next is our reference book by Koth is available in the college library. You can get it issued from the library and have a look at the same. Next, 10 MCQs for today's class have been given here. So there are 10 MCQs, like first question, second question, and through 10 questions. And each question is having 4 choices, and you are supposed to take any one answer. And in the end of the class, you are supposed to submit me the answers on my email account. So have a look at all the questions. Just go through all the questions. So these are all the 10 questions. This was all about today's class. If you are having any query, you can ask me any question. I'm giving you a time of 1 minute. Okay, guys, thank you. Have a nice day.